For you Capricorns, you have the Devil, which is Capricorn, the Devil card, the Nine of Swords. You also have the Three of Cups. So there's a fear that some of you Capricorns may have that you are learning how to get over, but it's a fear that a lot of you have nonetheless. And that fear is the Nine of Swords. You thinking that somehow you're never going to find love, you're never going to be accepted. People are not going to respect what it is that you have to say and not respect you. And that's totally not true. It's totally not true, right? Number one, I respect you Capricorns, very much so. And I have a lot of love for y'all. I think that Capricorns are a blessing. And I also think that the planet Saturn is one of my favorite planets, personally. Not necessarily the zodiac signs. I'm not really playing favorites, but the planet and what it represents of itself is one of my favorite planets. I like the idea of fair exchange. And when I work hard and I bust my butt, all the work that I'm doing is not in vain. And I actually do 20% of the work, but the 20% is hard as a mug, but then the 80% is what it is that I get back. I love that. So it's like it is that I said before, it's completely not true. The Nine of Swords, there's also a worry of if you're ever going to actually elevate, become and reinvent yourself and be in a better position and meet brand new people because you don't want to get taken advantage of, like I was talking about. So the thing is that the Three of Cups, you want to hang out with people, associate yourself with others. If you're going to call them your friends, with people that are not trying to use you and just use you for whatever it is that they can get up one out of you and then throw you away in the trash can. So the thing about it is that the Page of Wands and the Queen of Swords is about how, so the thing that you Capricorns have to do is you have to confront that fear. You have to understand, what is it about that where you feel like you are insignificant? Maybe it could be because you Capricorns may not have necessarily accomplished what it is that you set out to. So then it means it's time for you to go ahead and find out. Go to a book or go to some people who know what they're talking about, and then actually ask those people for knowledge and see if you can figure out ways where you can exchange their knowledge for you, helping them out or working for them on some mentorship type of stuff, or refer to a book. Whenever it is that I have problems figuring out a problem, first and foremost, my first instinct is to, number one, ask myself if I can solve this problem. Then I also attack it on two fronts. I go to other people and ask them if they understand this. And then if I don't know it and another person doesn't know it, then as a third resource, right, what I'll do is I'll end up going to a book. Maybe a person who wrote this book that I'm reading actually has some real insight, actionable insight that I can actually take on myself and then go do something about it. So the thing about it is that the Page of Wands and the Queen of Swords now is about, so you have to figure out what is it about you that you feel insignificant. And like I said, I just gave you on how to work on those insecurities that you have. The Nine of Cups, the Moon, and the Knight of Pentacles represent, because people will continue to try to prey on those weaknesses if you don't hide those weaknesses well enough, or if you don't take care of those weaknesses at its core. People will try to prey on that. And what I mean by that is the Nine of Cups, the Moon, and the Knight of Pentacles. Right? The Nine of Cups represents the level of confidence that you will have once you deal with those issues of inferiority and feeling like you'll never find somebody. Is there a part of you Capricorns where you feel like internally you don't deserve someone that actually is supposed to be there for you, that actually cares for you, because of the fact that you have to learn to get over your humanity? And see, this is what it is, and I'm talking about the whole humanity thing. What do I mean when I say humanity? Because Capricorn is an amoral zodiac sign, meaning that y'all will do what is necessary without morality. And that doesn't necessarily mean that that's a bad thing whatsoever. I think the world needs less moralism and more practicality and more fairness. There's a difference between moralism and fairness. Part of the reason why Capricorn and Libra work well together as business partners, because Libra is supposed to represent that fairness. Capricorn represents that amorality. Wink, wink, hint, hint. So the moon in the Knight of Pentacles now is about how, so for you Capricorns, you will also, once you figure that out, and the moon represents reflection or internal work, doing the like I said, that shadow work, dark work, humanity, figuring out your humanity, the ego, all of it is just different names for the same thing. You have to go internally, or go internal and figure out what it is about you. And the Knight of Pentacles represents, get a journal. Some of you may need a journal. Look at how this knight over here has a journal, taking notes of all of the things that she observes that she can actually use to calm her mind down when she thinks of her book. And thinking about all, letting her thoughts run through that she's now jotting down, in which she can go back to at another time. This is some of the things that you Capricorns may need. Capricorns may need to start journaling or figuring out about yourself, something that you can scribble. Well, I'm left-handed. I'm ambidextrous, but I usually write with my left hand. But most people write with their left, so whatever. So jot down some things or whatnot or whatever, just so that you can revisit those thoughts later on, how you feel when you think about these certain things. And that will help you figure out those certain issues that you are having of inferiority. Because Capricorn is not inferior at all. The planet Saturn is much bigger than planet Earth. I think the planet Saturn is like what? I think it's like 8 to 16 times bigger, like 10 times bigger or something like this than the planet Earth. One of those numbers. But I know it's multiple times bigger than the Earth, planet Saturn is. So it's like, what inferior? Now Jupiter is even bigger than Saturn. So think about how big Jupiter is. But what I'm trying to say is that you are not inferior at all. It's just that what makes you inferior is your own ideology or thought that you are inferior. But there's many things that you Capricorns can do. And the Knight of Wands and the Ten of Swords now represents part of what may make you feel inferior is the fact that you perceive that people do not desire you, people do not want you, people do not want to have you around. And part of the reason why it is that people may not want to have you around sometimes, yeah, the bossiness can be a part of it. I've had some Capricorns myself, known some personally that were bossy, but most of the times why people don't want you, perceive that people don't want you around, or most of the times that people wouldn't want you around, is because of their own inferiority. You Capricorns, like I said, a lot of you may stick out like a sore thumb because you may be an overachiever and highly successful. So now when you come around, you know what I'm saying? Like, you Capricorns are expecting people to be able to keep up with you. And a lot of you Capricorns may be millionaires or billionaires, but you're expecting people who are not millionaires to kind of like just flat out pay for a Honda Accord or like a Ferrari. And it's like, that's not gonna happen. Like, they're not rich like you. You understand what I'm saying? Like, they're not an overachiever like you. So it's like you're expecting people who are lesser than you in certain areas to keep up. And it's like, come on, man. Like, it's not gonna happen. So, you may be, so again, like a mountain goat that you are, you may be high up on that mountain of being well faceted in that way, but then other people may be climbing that mountain like, I'm trying to get there, even though you may be already on top of the mountain already. So let's clarify the Ten of Swords. while. I didn't realize how much time went by. The Chariot, the Temperance, the Four of Pentacles, and then you have the Five of Cups. So to clarify the Ten of Swords, again, what also will help is intense questioning, and not just of yourself, but intense questioning of other people. That's one of the best tools, Capricorn. Listen to me. That is one of the best tools on how to dismantle somebody who's playing games, is to ask questions. Because when you start questioning them, that's when the illusion that they're trying to throw up of how insignificant you are compared to them, quote unquote, you come to find out that it's a ruse, it's a sham, it's fake. And the Temperance represents, this will be something that you will have to cultivate, because you have to first spot when somebody is running game in the first place, to then begin to now start the questioning. The Four of Pentacles and the Five of Cups represents, and when you do that, you will be better off, because you will get the answer. And don't let people pump you into thinking or trick you into thinking that that's not the answer. Once you figured it out, once you ask those questions, you've already figured it out, that it's not that when you have people who low-key are jealous of you, they're jealous because they don't like you, because you've done something wrong to them. They're jealous because they're jealous. And you'll be able to come to that conclusion, like I said, from journaling, letting thoughts or to-do things that are to-do, jot it down. A lot of you Capricorns are probably right-handed, but jot it down and actually come back to those thoughts later, which will help you organize your mind, instead of you thinking that everything is you being insignificant and you're never going to do things right. You're very much so liked. But anyway, that's pretty much it. Comment on the video, like the video, subscribe to the YouTube channel, share the video.